Good morning, Bitcoin truth seekers. Just checking out my stuff here, making sure everything is working, everything is recording. It appears to be. So, okay, welcome home and good morning, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, uh, December 20th, 2023. It is 5:39 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. So, I'm going to try to make this time slot work where I get these out every morning. So, with that said, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Like I say, any day that somebody buys me a coffee and then mentions something they want looked at the following day, I guarantee I will get up this early and I will actually hook you up. So, and actually, some people did recently. So I'm going to look at the coins that they wanted me to look at real quickly as we rock along. So, Bitcoin True Seekers. BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. The MMRI is something that I definitely follow and I think it has value. I'm going to link to it over at Bitcoin Daily View. It's not there right now. I need to kind of adjust some links there, but I'll link to it there. But if you just search for MMRI indicator, you will find it. It's basically a very esoteric, eclectic, and definitely spiritually challenging uh, indicator. Uh, and how it works exactly is kind of there's many mythologies as to how it works, but it has value. So the MMRI, it's at 247. If you're below 250, usually a good day. If you're above 250, not so great. If you're above 300, that's not too rocking. And it's all about risk, basically. He calculated risk in the market. So I think we're going to see right now, probably since we're below 250, probably not so much volatility in the market as far as negative volatility. We might see some pumping volatility, but probably not dumping volatility. So it's just a good indicator to look at. Below 250, probably going to be on the way up. Above 250, the volatility might be very hard to trade. And can be kind of a stop loss hunter. So definitely watch your leverage if we're above 250 and especially 300. So I'll go over that one daily. Yesterday in the market, it ain't open yet, but yesterday in the market, definitely the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P 500. I'd imagine the RUT did as well. All ran pretty good. I mean, it's not huge numbers. None of them actually closed in the end. A whole percent up, but still a nice pump. That was good to see. Now, looking at U.S. dollar strength index here, top left. Um, Market is not actually open yet, but I think this is. I mean, look at the date on that. Daily, that is today. So, okay, we are seeing so far a green candle bouncing off the kind of mid-range, the heartbeat of this downwards channel. Sorry, I'm on my laptop, so all is a little bit smaller. Not using my mega big trading monitor right now. So anyway, it's below the 200 moving average on the daily, and it's bouncing off like the heart line of the downwards channel. We'll see what happens. It could be a green day today for the DXY. It has been consistently dumping for a while. We'll see if it's going to turn it around. I will just basically say I hope not. So looking at oil. Oil is beginning to last couple of days make a run back up. Looking at U.S. oil as the ticker, we'll see if it can break that 200 moving average on the daily. I think we're looking pretty good. So, oil being at its current price absolutely makes no sense. It is voodoo, crazy central bank globalist trickery. This just should not be happening. But we're seeing it is at a previous support level, so we'll see if this upwards movement is there. I myself am hedged into oil a bit just because all we need is one little escalation, and you'll see it over $100 a barrel, and that way you pay for your own gas by the money you're making off of oil. You got to get crazy. Anyway, gold right now, kind of a sideways day so far this morning. Silver kind of a sideways day as well. We'll see. Looking at the charts, I'm not seeing this being a big energons day, as an energons. To the upside or downside, I don't necessarily think we're going to see a whole lot with gold and silver. So commodities a bit flat today. Um, I'll refresh this here. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume, 4.2 billion last 24 hours. It's down 5.8%. That's kind of not bad in this holiday week. So it would not. I'm surprised we have that much volume actually going into a holiday, even though the holiday technically is, I guess, what Christmas is like. Whenever it is, is it Monday? I think. Anyway. Uh, so this is gonna be an interesting week. I'm really impressed by that volume. So interesting. Uh, we'll see how that plays out. Looking at longs versus short sentiment, the leverage traders on Binance, where the big volume is, 53% long, 46% short. Well, there you go. Definitely a slightly long bias for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, though, 66% long, 31%, 33% short. So definitely some sparkiness there on Ethereum. Looking at the top 20 exchanges here for volume, for spot trading volume, I'm seeing most of them in the red with a couple being green. We'll see how that rolls today. Right now, trading volume, spot trading volume is a bit flat. Looking at Bitcoin, we're seeing 42,975 for Bitcoin. That's pretty darn rocking. And one thing I do see in the top 100 alts here, definitely we got some stuff beginning to run this morning. And maybe you can hop on some of these. Near protocol, that thing's up like 19%. This is the kind of trading weather, and why I want to get on here daily and share some trades is just because this is where you get that life changing wealth. This is where a a trade can just really change your life, even with it's $100 or something like that. So SDX, I like stacks. STX is doing pretty good, 22% up. Injective INJ is wonderful. Kind of curious about Rune. Is Rune on here? Let me do a quick search here. Rune, are you there? No, Rune didn't make it. I'm watching that one. So anyway, there we go. Near, Stacks, and Injective all looking really, really good. Neo up 3.9%. That one can run sometimes. Phantom is up 3%. So we have a lot of nice alts here that have not cranked too much this morning. They're in the right spot to continue running. So we'll see how that runs. Doge down 1%. Interesting. Maybe we'll take a look at that. All right, looking at Bitcoin. I like what I'm seeing here because you got Bitcoin here on the 45-minute chart. It was, if we look here closely, these are red little squares. They are that shows when you break the 200 moving average, and then these diamonds here. That's when you break the 200 and the 314 within like one or two candles. So basically, this is pretty hot. So whenever you start collecting the red squares and the diamonds, when you're flirting with that 200 moving average, especially when you're crossing over the 200 and the 314 within one or two candles, might be up to three. I think I'd look at the indicator again, but this is showing. This is basically what you would consider, like in the squeeze indicator. You can see where these match up. You're going from positive to negative on the squeeze. Oftentimes, when you're really in that squeeze, and how this indicator does that, you kind of got to like look at the code or watch some YouTubes on it. But like back here was a squeeze where you see the white golf balls is what I call them. And if we look at the chart, you'll see, yeah, we are getting ready to do something. So we didn't quite, the squeeze indicator did not show like technically like a really tight squeeze there. But as you can see, we were rolling from negative to positive, and the squeeze indicator showed that natural trend. So it would make sense that we're moving the way we're moving, plus all this 200 moving average flirtation. That is really kind of a sign of some Lambo action, I think, today for Bitcoin. Looking at the directional index, it's in the green. ADX is powerfully moving up. It just crossed the heart line. That's pretty good. Looking at volume, not seeing anything extraordinary right now, but I like what I'm seeing. Bitcoin, without spending too much time on it. I just think today will probably be a good trading day for Bitcoin. Just do watch out because we do have a natural spot here on the 45-minute chart. If I do a ray here, you can kind of see where, boom, would not surprise me if it finds a bit of resistance at 42,900, let's say. That'll be a glass ceiling for it to break through. But if it does, that would be kind of nice. Also, if we were to look like this, if we were to fire it up like this, I am very unashamedly creative with my channels, and that's just my nature, so that's how it rolls. But if we look here, I think you can see so much with channels, and this is a little bit jerky here, but I am telling you, I think that is an upwards channel. I think we visited the bottom of the channel, which was above the 200 on the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. This is very immediate price action, but unless we get stopped out at this recent high, I could definitely see her run back to the top of this channel, or I should say to the top of the channel, and that would be right about there. And if we were to do a let's see, where's my tool here? If we were to do a forecast from where we sit to the top of that channel, that's about an easy 4% you could pick up before it retraces. So anyway, that's my plan for the day, and that's what I'm doing. So I thought I'd just share that. Let's look at a 40. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Um, 4-hour chart. Nice thing about the 4-hour chart, something I like here is, as you can see, we've just been cruising upwards on the 4-hour chart. And do know this is tricky. If I pull a little bit more time in here, I'm on a small monitor, so I can't like, look at a year's worth of 45-minute candles really easy. Um, but if we look, this is an upwards channel, even though it's a bit, murky. It kind of broke the rules a little bit, but if I was to go like this and just fire it up like that, you can kind of see this upwards channel does make sense. And on the 4-hour chart, it's a powerful chart. We're above the 200 moving average. 200 is above the 314. I like seeing that. And it looks to me like we're beginning to do some flirting with the why do I have those diamonds? That's a little weird. Why would I have that there? Anyway, a little confusing what I'm seeing. Oh, never mind, never mind. These are actually sorry. Um, one thing about doing it live, if you screw up, you just screw up and you say, well, there you go, But it's funny if you look back here on the 45 on the 4-hour chart. Look at that. What was it doing? It was flirting with that 200 moving average. Just like as it was doing on the 45-minute chart. So this chart's set up pretty good for a move. I think we're bouncing off the bottom of this channel in the 4-hour chart. Now, if we get into the whole let's look at it like this. You had your bottom here, then yeah, it's really hard. If you pull in enough time, you can kind of see there's a higher low. Here's a higher low. Then we kind of blew it with this one, but that's fine. We could let's actually look at this a little bit more in depth here. Let's fire up a Fibonacci sequence. One Fibonacci. Fib retracement. Let's go back down here to where we kind of started this upwards channel, this run, and let's see where we are in the fib. Yeah, we're bouncing off that 236 fib level. The 314 is right here at the 382. You can definitely see there was good support and resistance at the dot five and a 618. Could we see further retracement? As long as we get some, I, this is kind of a weak spot in a chart to be, but we are seeing that it's making a nice floor out of the floor out of the 236. So let's just see what happens. If you look at a daily chart, how are we looking there? Daily, let's pull in a little bit more data. Yeah, well, actually, in the daily chart, it's not bad. Daily chart about the 200 moving average, it's running well. We're seeing some nice upwards movement. You can see we've been on this nice trend for a while, and we even kind of got onto the 200, flirted with the 314 a little bit, and made a move. We're running. I don't like to play depending on how I'm looking at things. I don't like playing the 236 or the 382 as a fib level. So I'm a little bit hesitant. I'd almost like to see Bitcoin go back down to 35,900 or so and bounce off the dot five or the 618, get down to like 33,200, 33,500 or so. And even on the daily chart, the 200 moving average is right at the 786, around 30,600. So I'm going to watch out. Definitely be careful because it would make sense and it would not necessarily be bad for Bitcoin if with kind of a positive market that we have right now. I think if we were to see something like a dot five or a 618 or even a 786 bounce, and that could happen rather quickly. That could kind of be a dump. That could be a wick, a dump and a nice wick that hits the 786 or something like that. So also watch out for that. If you're leverage trading, definitely the big money might like to create some liquidity for itself. So be careful. Especially if we start getting really low volume for Bitcoin trading. And I like to look over here at where is it at? Yeah, cryptometer.io. So right now we're at 4.2 billion. If throughout this rest of this week we keep dropping in Bitcoin trading volume, just be careful because I definitely think that's where we could see some serious some interesting things could happen. Definitely volatility towards the downside. So let me fire up the chat here. It's over on bitcoindailyview.com if you want to see it. But I will just say like I'll put this in the live chat, and if you want to check out that. All right, indicator. So back to what we're looking at. Sorry, I'm moving kind of slow this morning. I probably should have drank a little bit more coffee or done some push-ups or something. But we're awake enough. Anyway, so somebody wanted to see Lund C. They asked about that one versus USDT, and looking at this one here, I'll look on it on KuCoin. This is nice. You can see the squeeze indicator is showing that we're kind of on the way back up. ADX directional index is positive. ADX is kind of dumping. Squeeze indicator a bit weak, but you guys you can see it's trending back up. Volume, nothing too incredible right now. This is a 4-hour chart, though. What I like about Lund C is check this out. So this is a 4-hour chart, and you can see where, it made a nice 200 moving average bounce, ran like crazy, and it didn't just dump. It's just been gently going down, hit the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We're beginning to see maybe some positive momentum. It makes sense what it's doing. And if we fire up a fib sequence, I think we're going to see that it's at a fib level, which is definitely a comfortable one for me. So look at that. The golden pocket right there, the 618 golden pocket between the dot 618 and dot 65 fib levels. It it got down into that, but it didn't lose it. It kind of wicked down to the 200 moving average. 200 moving average is right below that. Definitely, I think if we start seeing some, like on a 45-minute chart, if we start seeing some upwards momentum here. I think that, yeah, I think it's probably getting ready to roll over. Just watch that 45-minute squeeze indicator to begin, rolling positive. And I think sometimes people don't want to get in until it's actually cross positive. But if you start seeing the light red goes to more like the burgundy red, like right here at this transition, transition of tangent is a great spot to get in. So I'm going to wait for this thing to have a transit. I say like a transit of tangent, and I think it might be a hot time to get in. And if we look like back here. When we had that transition, it's sort of moving again, just not really powerfully. So anyway, sorry, this chart's probably hard to see, but I like what I'm seeing. I think let's see. We just gotta let it see if it starts running, especially here on the 200 on the 45-minute chart. If we see, and you can see it's beginning to try, it wicked above the 200 and the 314. So I'm gonna kind of watch this guy. I think Lun C versus USDT. If it breaks that 200 and 314, comes back, tests, then just starts moving up, and the indicators look good on the 45 and 4-hour chart. I think this one is definitely it would make sense. This guy starts running, and Lun C can be a crazy machine. So someone actually did ask me about Doge, and you can always just in the comments, I'll look at any coin you want me to look at. But the buy me a coffee guarantees that I'll actually do it. Doge, 45-minute chart. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Um, it's above the 200 on the 4-hour chart. Uh, but I'm not feeling too sparky positive on Doge. I just don't know if this has got the energons it needs right now. 4-hour chart is looking kind of good. You can see this long, beautiful upwards channel. I think on the 45, it's really blown it. I'd watch for a positive 45 an hourly chart. But, looking at it here, though, if we look at, the bottom of this guy here, and we do a fib, see, we're around like the 382 where the 200 moving average is. The dot five is on the 314s. This kind of sticks. I would just watch this guy. We'll just watch it. Doge is, not that exciting right now. It needs a more powerful 45-minute chart before I really get into it. So watch for that, put an alert in for that 45-minute chart, 200 moving average crossover, and then check out your indicators. If it starts running, it definitely could run. You can't look at Doge without looking at Shiba Inu. How's it looking? SHIB is pretty positive, 45-minute chart, beginning to turn up. It's been sparky. I like it. Yeah, I think SHIB could be good. It's got some good indicators looking for it right now. So SHIB looks pretty hot. 4-hour chart. Oh yeah, it broke above a high that was recently made. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with it. I think Shib's probably pretty good. So let's keep an eye on this guy. But I'm not the strongest trade in the world, but I would say that I think, especially looking at the 4-hour, the 45-minute chart, as long as the market stays positive, if the alt market in general does, today I think we definitely could see continuation. Just watch out because there's some obvious areas where it could. Begin to change its mind. It's got some, resistance here. It's got some resistance wish that would just happen over and over again. It's got some here. You can see on the way up. So, but definitely, this could be building some energons here. This little pyramid here is a secret blockchain education uh, s- uh, 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 indicator, which shows this is probably going to be very positive. Of course, not financial advice, but I'm just saying I think SHIB could be an interesting play today, but the alt market has to stay positive, and we'll see how that rolls. Um, Anyway, screenshot. Well, there's me staring staring at a buffalo. Anyway, so I thought that'd just be a good picture to end it on. So anyway, uh, that's it. It's an exciting Bitcoin day. I think let's actually look at the well, let's fire up one more thing for Bitcoin here on the daily chart. I like what I'm seeing there. I need to on this chart. I need to save this with I need to put this indicator in here so we can see it quicker. I just want a traditional MACD with no tuning or anything. Just hook me up. Um, so let's look at the daily MACD. This is a big one. If we look at that, sorry, I'm making dots everywhere. Boom. Okay. Looking at the daily MACD, this is interesting. So we've definitely given some back. The histogram's beginning to recover, and I'm watching for. I need to make this a little bit bolder so you can see it. Um, but I'm watching for this daily MACD tangent, the blue line, to just hit positive because when it does, I think that's going to be. I think Bitcoin could definitely could get back to that. Could really start running because if we look, look at the last time we had a crossover. Sorry, whenever I touch anything, whenever I mouse over things, I get all this. I can't see it. Sorry, small monitor. But if you look here, you can see we had a nice positive cross. What happened on daily? Bitcoin ran. We had a negative cross. Boom, it dumped a bit. So I like to get in when I see that tangent begin going positive on the daily, because then also one indicator that I really like to use also, well, the MACD is the indicator, but watch the 2 hour MACD. I mean, I know we're looking at very immediate price action. Maybe that's too, eclectic for some, but I think that the 2 hour MACD for Bitcoin, as we can see, it just turned positive. It really tends to me to show the longer term direction that we're probably going to see for Bitcoin. Also, on the 200 moving on the 2 hour chart, we're about the 200 and the 314. It's a nice strong looking chart. I mean, you could kind of look at this and just say, hey, you've got a low and then you have a lower high. You know, I kind of like that. So we shall see how that plays out. But I think Bitcoin's getting ready to run some this week. Alts are getting ready to roll. I'm kind of liking SHIB. I kind of like Lunc. They're not too exciting. I'll look over here at blockchain education for a sec. We are looking at good trades all the time. You can see this is Roberts over there just posting crazy, mad trades that are looking great. We're constantly on it. We share lists of like different lists that show like versus BTC that are really hot versus BTC that are okay. Then we show ones that are on Coinbase right now against USD. So we update like twice a week these big lists that we have, and we share them as watch lists on that you can use in Trading View. So you can show up to the meeting. It's a Zoom meeting twice a week, and you can hang out. And like I say, I ain't making no money selling selling blockchain education, but if you want to get into some good trades, he mentioned ETC USDT. Maybe we'll take a quick look at that one before we're out of here. Um, he was like the way that was shaping up USDT. So let's look at that. Well, you can play it on Binance, OKX, Bittrex, KuCoin. Let's look at it. Let's look at it on KuCoin. Um, ATC USDT. Okay, what I like here, 45-minute chart. We have an upwards channel, which is looking very nice. Let me fire that upwards channel. You can see, obviously, boom, this is kind of nice to see. I like what I'm seeing. It's just getting started. But let's look at the 45-minute chart. Let's look at the indicators. Yeah, the squeeze is beginning to turn positive. Directional index is looking good. Need that ADX to perk up a little bit. No incredible volume, but that's all right. This definitely, if on the 45-minute chart, if we get a nice 200 moving average cross and cross that 314 and the indicators looking good, I think that's going to be kind of a nice play. Let's look at the 4 hour chart. 4 hour chart. Yeah, this is wonderful. It's above the 200 already. It's kind of flirting with, you can see it's been flirting with that 200 moving average, went down to the 314. It's kind of getting an upwards channel. The squeeze is turning positive. Directional index is working on getting there. No incredible volume, but definitely this is not a bad one to watch. Let's look at a daily chart real quick here. Where we at? Yeah, daily chart's looking good. Um, mm, not super excited about this one, but I'm actually excited enough because on a daily chart, if you kind of, zoom out here and look at this guy, it's making a bottom of the channel bounce right now. It's above the 200 and the 314. You've got, all these traditional beautiful things. You have a low, a lower high, and then another lower high, just barely. It is a lower high. Then you have a higher high and a higher high. I could see this thing definitely running back to the top of this channel. It would not surprise me one darn bit if it did. And let me do the measuring thinger. Sorry, what is that thing called? I always forget where that's at. Where is my little forecast, sorry. I should just know where this is. Forecast. So the bottom of the channel back to the top of the channel could be like 20% easy. So anyway, ATC versus USDT could definitely be a play. Zooming out, I think it looks pretty darn positive. So as always, not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. Crazy person, thinking out loud, staring at a buffalo out in the field. That's where I like to be. So anyway, guys, take care, and I'll try to get on daily. Remember, buy me a coffee, ask for a particular coin. I'll always look at it the next morning. So take care.